You know I gotta be me, so even my end of the year countdown stuff can't be typical. I just like to take things and turn them on their side a little bit. It's the editor in me. So today, my little 2025 recap for today is going to be 2025 really hyped makeup products that actually delivered. There's a lot of times there's a lot of hype on something and you're like, okay, and then it's kind of forgotten about. So this isn't a best of. This is, you know, a hyped things that got a lot of attention. I actually think they were worth it. And the interesting thing part of this is that not all of these are worth it for me. I have a lot of, you guys know, I'm always in my community and talking to you guys, and I always answer your DMs, always reply to your comments. So I hear what you guys think back and forth. So a lot of this is also what I hear. Maybe for me it wasn't right for my skin type or something, but for the beauty community in general, these things, the hype was real. So that's what we're going to talk about today, at least in my opinion. With me, Rebecca, on Not Fit for Print Beauty. I'm a fashion and beauty editor who's done this for about 25 years. I have worked in the trenches with some of the biggest names in fashion and beauty, and that has given me the gumption, the gall, to start Not Fit for Print Beauty, because we're digital now. Not Fit for Print Beauty right here on YouTube, to give you a sort of digital beauty magazine to look through every day or so. Okay, again, these are some of these are controversial. But I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to start with one that is not controversial at all. This was incredibly hyped and is really incredibly good. And that is, you could guess, I'm sure. This is the Danessa Myrix Lightwork 7. This is the latest Lightwork palette. She continues to fine-tune her genius. And yes, I choose my words carefully. The reason why, and this is a pricey one, but the reason why I'm saying this was hyped but delivered is all the things that it does. So let's talk about that. First of all, you have this packaging that's so innovative and magnetic. Everything kind of comes apart. You could use these as 3 separate palettes. There's a little leather carrying case or leatherette carrying case. There is a mirror here that pops out and becomes a mirror. It's just so innovative, and all of the shades in here can work anywhere on the face. So though it looks like an eyeshadow palette, you can use these as on cheeks to highlight. You can put this on lips. You can be as daring as you want, but it also is a palette that is extraordinarily easy for those of us, me included, who are a little bit timid about the bold use of color. This can be worn. It doesn't have to be an editorial wear. You can wear this, and I've reviewed all of these products up here already, so you can see my review of it. I did a very kind of neutral, not very exciting look with it. So you can be kind of everyday with this palette as well. And it's buildable and easy to work with. And it really is genius. Definitely Danessa Myrix is, especially for 2025, as she grows her brand, just really doing the most, I think, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I bet you'll agree, the most innovative stuff in the market for beauty and makeup right now. And this was worth it. Pricey. But especially if you like to experiment, play with makeup, I think this had a lot of hype, but I think it delivered. Okay, let's talk about some foundations. This is interesting because at first you might think this is hypocritical of me. These are 2 products that I actually don't like for me. But for our beauty community, these were hyped and well worth the hype. Okay, so let me explain. The first is the Natasha Denona High Glam. For me, this was too shiny. It's very pretty, and I can use it if I use a little bit of it, but everyone I know, literally everyone I know, who knows a lot about beauty and whose opinions I respect, especially if you have drier skin or really like a nice glowy base, this is a product that works and delivers for a lot of people, and it was very much hyped, very much waited for. I mean, Natasha Denona talked about re-upping and redoing her foundation. She does have a foundation from long ago that frankly was meh. But this, though not my favorite, a little shiny for me. Little reflective-y silver for me. Little kind of like always comes off cool toned for me. But I got to tell you that those I respect their opinion who have drier skin or like something really glowy really enjoy this. And I like it too if I use very little bit of it. It's not something I reach for every day, but let me tell you, this was hyped and it is beloved in our beauty community. So I think it's well worth the hype. And then I would be remiss if I didn't add this product in too. Another pricey one that seems to be well worth the hype. not for me, but it's huge. And this is the Victoria Beckham Beauty Foundation Drops. Now, this is a brand I believe in wholeheartedly. I love Victoria Beckham Beauty. I have covered her beauty before really anyone else did on YouTube. And that's kind of catty of me to say, but, you know, it's true. So at any rate, I'm a huge, huge fan of Victoria Beckham Beauty. These foundation drops is something that she did in accordance with Dr. Augustina Spatter, who is a skincare guru, but his products are too heavy for my skin. Whenever I wear his products, even the lighter version of his products, not even the ones he does with Victoria Beckham, but the ones he does on his own, even the lighter versions are too much. They're too heavy. So, not surprisingly, this one is a little bit of a grease ball on me. But I have subscribers, my dry skin subscribers, my more mature skin subscribers. They tell me this is a godsend. I have people, no matter the price of this, buying backups already, making sure they get their shade right. People will run into a burning building for this. Will I? No, it's a little too heavy and greasy on me, frankly. But I got to tell you, the people who are down for this product will defend it with their life. They really will. There was a lot of hype behind it. It's very pricey. But it does appear, especially if you have drier skin or more mature skin, to be very worth the hype. Even though it's not something I would necessarily use. I know that's an odd thing. All right, and in fact, most of these products are hyped products that I don't even use the Danessa Myrix daily. I can just tell a good product when I see it. This one is going to be controversial, okay? And some of you are going to want to argue with me in comments, which bring it on. I'm totally fine with that. I'm going to talk about the Chanel Holiday 9-pan. I got one of them here, and this came in a few different shades, I think 3. Let's discuss why this is on my list. This was hyped and also panned. I don't mean panned like hit pan, like I mean like panned. People hated that Chanel did this. A lot of people say that Chanel is, at this point, just cranking out things thoughtlessly. Nobody wanted this with all these crazy colors. Again, there's 3 different colors. And I mean, I don't want this color. I don't use it. I don't want it. Here's why it's on my list as worth it. If you love color, I think this is more worth it than the Pat McGrath Mega Palette that she did this time. These shades perform so beautifully. But yeah, I'm not really into these kind of colors on my eyes either. But if you are, this hype was worth it. This, you can argue with me all you want. These shades and these colors perform well. They apply beautifully. Again, I've reviewed it. You can see my review. If you like colorful eyeshadow, you'll love this. If you expect Chanel to just do kind of quads of simple, everyday, sophisticated, pretty makeup, then you won't like this. And is this out of character for Chanel? A bit, but let me tell you, the quality is there. My favorite release? No, but you guys know me. Look, I'm not really wearing anything on my eyes now. That's just me. But if this is you, you will like these shades, and you will probably really, honestly, like it more than the Pat McGrath that you might have loved. Pat McGrath Mega is not on my list here. So my money is on this one. It was well done. Let's talk about Lancome, the Cafe Crush. This is, one of the palettes done in conjunction with Lisa Eldridge, who is their creative director. This is a very, I was going to say boring. It's a very neutral palette with a few interesting pops. Again, I've reviewed it, done a full review of it. This is beautiful. This came out in Europe long before it came out here in the US, and we waited and waited and waited, and I believe it was well worth the wait. These Lancome Idol products are really bringing Lancome back. I think this was worth it if you like a nice neutral. I mean, some of these are cool leaning, some of them are warm. You got your golds in here. You still got some reds. Frankly, it will face palette. You could use this on the cheeks, maybe even lips over a balm. Honestly, you can bronze with this depending on skin tone, or not even depending on skin tone, because there's a lot of different ones in there. And you've got your gold, and you've got your kind of rose gold. It's a little bit warmer over cool, but I think a beautifully performing palette that we waited for in the US for its release for a long time, and I think it's worth the hype. And I've got 2 more products here. Before I get to them, we've got 7 in total. Before I get to them, let me just say I left out a lot of hyped products that I found fairly forgettable. There were quite a few of them. Most makeup that was released this year in 2025 was I think gets a B grade. Not amazing, not bad, but hype for a lot of these died down after the release and I forgot about the products. So I am just doing ones that stay in my head, and we do have 2 more. That was 5 of them. Another one, very pricey one, but I think well worth the hype. That is the Byredo Bibliophilia palette. Bibliophilia palette. This, you don't need this and Cafe Crush, admittedly. This is almost a larger version of it. But as usual, as we see with Byredo, we have creamy, buildable, beautiful, luxury feel of makeup. Again, you could choose between this one and the Lancome. Which do I prefer? Well, the Lancome is a little bit more affordable. But Byredo does these gorgeous palettes that everybody who doesn't get them in limited edition tends to be kind of like, oh, I missed the boat, and it doesn't come back. And I think this one was worth it. I am a neutral lover, though. You know, so take that for what it's worth. I don't think the customer for this is the same as the customer for that Chanel palette that I just held up, for instance. I am much more the customer for this. I love these kind of warm shades, burnt shades, brown shades, and I think this will face palette as well. You could put a lot of these on for bronzer, for cheeks, so I think you could travel with it. And I think it's nice, and it's sophisticated, and it's Byredo, and it's pricey, but I think this was worth the hype. Yes, I know there's a new Byredo coming out, and let me just let you in on a secret. I do have it sitting over there. I'm just waiting for it to be released before I review it. And that Byredo will be a much more colorful option as we head into the January, February of next year, which we're almost there. I do have that to review. And last, my 7th product that I think was very hyped and very well worth it is one of the very few releases this year in 2025 from Charlotte Tilbury. Charlotte Tilbury has had some instant face and a palette releases that I thought were good, but kind of forgettable. What I haven't forgotten and what I really like, people didn't like the packaging. I thought the Beautifying eye trends from Charlotte Tilbury, if you like a nice eye look, I think these were very on brand for Charlotte Tilbury. Very pretty. Okay, a lot of people found the packaging a little lackluster, but let me tell you, the performance of, there's so many choices in the colors here, and the performance of the shades I thought was remarkable. A lot of people, you know, there's even a cool tone one for my cool tone lovers. A lot of people got on this, it's boring, it looks like a cheaper release, they didn't like the packaging. I am telling you, the products performed beautifully, and I think from the brand, the other Charlotte Tilbury releases this year might be okay, but they're not exactly memorable, and to me, these Beautifying eye trends were indeed memorable and affordable. So I'm surprised I have a lot of eyeshadows on this list of the 7, because you wouldn't think 2025 was really the year of the eyeshadow, but I hear from a little birdie that eyeshadows are kind of coming back. And why wouldn't the industry want them back? There's a lot of money to be made in eyeshadows. These one-off cheaper lip products are probably hard to get a lot of meat off the bone in terms of the brands making money on that, if I could just be honest. And we're going to see a lot more foundation releases towards the beginning of the year. We always do. But to me, these 7 products that I just named, even if they're not my first choice, these were products that were incredibly hyped, and I think worth it if you're looking around to pick up some things for gifts or for yourself or in sales, things like that. So I really, really recommend that you check these out. Let me know down below. Think back in 2025. Think back hyped, not like surprise or dark horse products, but I want you to think of, like, you heard a lot of hype, and you can either name ones that you thought, oh, this had hype and was terrible, or one that had a lot of hype and was forgettable, or specifically for this video, something that you think lived up to the hype in 2025 for you. I would love to know that, and I'd like to chat with you guys in comments. Have you filled out, speaking of being in touch with my community, have you filled out the community survey? I do this every year. This will be the 5th or 6th year running, where I can tell you, it's almost like market research, what your favorite products were that you wore in 2025, whether or not they were created in 2025. I have a link down below to that survey. It's on a Google form. You don't have to fill all of it out. You can skip the ones you don't know. But I would love to have you weigh in. That will be open just until December 25th at midnight, my time, which is Pacific Standard Time out here in California. So check that link out and go do that survey, please. I want your opinion because it does count. Also, check me out over on TikTok, Threads, and Instagram. Make sure that you look into joining we have a membership right here on YouTube. We do weekly lives. I'd love to see you there at those and all of that good stuff. Plus, I'll check out comments and chat with you guys there. And I will see you all in the next video.